You know what? I blame some of you for these cancellations. Because where were these ratings when these shows were actually airing? You changed the channel. You said you would watch later. You assumed there would always be another season. And then suddenly, they were gone. Now all we have are YouTube shorts and TikTok videos. These were the shows everyone watched after school, the theme songs we still remember, and the characters that honestly raised some of us. And somehow, many of them were still canceled. Why? Well, that's why we are here. Here are 10 classic 90s shows that were canceled and why networks decided to pull the plug. Let's start with number 10. 10. Beverly Hills 90210. Before every teen drama was filled with plot twists, aesthetic lighting, and rue, there was Beverly Hills 90210. The show originally centered on twins Brandon and Brenda Walsh moving from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Beverly Hills, California, with their parents and adjusting to their new bougie environment. Brandon and Brenda made a lot of friends, and the rest followed their friend group. We watched these kids deal with relationships, peer pressure, family expectations, and the realities of growing up in a privileged environment. It was actually a really great balance of serious topics, like addiction and identity, with teeny concerns like romance and drama.
You know, I thought it looked weird last night, but Kelly swore the color would turn down by morning.
Come on.
When it was first released in 1990, it didn't do so well. But by the fall of 1991, it was one of Fox's top shows. And the channel had it running from 1990 to 2000. But by the 10th season, the hype became a whisper. Major cast members Shannon Doherty, who played Brenda Walsh, and Luke Perry, who played Dylan McKay, began leaving. Other members grew into adulthood, and the show lost its relatability. Views dropped, ratings ranked, and on May 17, 2000, Fox decided to end the series. But whenever you decide to binge on Gossip Girl, Melrose Place, Models Inc., or One Tree Hill, give a shout-out to Beverly Hills 90210. Let's move from teen drama to an actual sitcom, family style. 9. Married with Children. Did you know that Married with Children was Fox's first success story? Well, now you do. Most family sitcoms tried to show perfect households, but this one did the exact opposite. The series focused on the Bundy family, a dysfunctional household led by Al Bundy, a shoe salesman who constantly complained about life, marriage, and responsibility. It was sarcastic, outrageous, and very different from the wholesome family shows dominating TV at the time.
Well, how else am I supposed to stay young and attractive for you?
Buy a time machine.
The show aired for 11 seasons from 1987 to 1997. The only other show hitting that mark was The Simpsons. But while everyone was waiting for a 12th season, Fox had already checked out. There wasn't even a rushed finale. Just silence. The cast and crew had to hear it on the news. It turns out their ratings had been slipping since season 6, and Fox was sick of losing money. In number 8, we have Daria. Remember her? 8. Daria. This time it wasn't Fox, it was MTV. Daria proved that animated shows were not just for kids. The series followed Daria Morgendorffer, a highly intelligent teenager navigating high school while quietly judging almost everyone around her. Her dry humor and honest observations made her instantly relatable to viewers who never quite fit in.
Gee, when you put it that way, it all sounds so fair and just.
It ran from 1997 to 2002. The show's creator, Glenn Eichler, wanted to end the series after 5 seasons because the story was done. MTV said no. They finally settled on a movie finale, Is It College Yet?, on January 21, 2002. Daria ran for 65 episodes, 2 TV movies, and 2 TV specials. Tell me what modern animation is topping that. Animation down. For number 7, let's do sci-fi. 7. Dark Angel. Tell me you experienced Dark Angel. We had Jessica Alba play Max, a genetically enhanced super soldier trying to survive in a dystopian future while being hunted by the government that created her.
My name's not Kid, it's Client, as in the person who pays for your opulent lifestyle.
It was released in 2000, and the first season kicked off with 10.4 million viewers. Who doesn't love a strong female lead and futuristic world building? Well, the answer is 4 million viewers because when Season 2 dropped, views were barely at 6 million. Season 1 was already way over budget, and you know Fox doesn't play with her money. So instead of Season 3, Dark Angel got canceled, and her filming budget was used to make Firefly. Yes, the space travel Firefly. That also got canceled, by the way. Must be that sci-fi jinx. Anyway, number 6, The X-Files. 6, The X-Files. This one could have been avoided. The X-Files. We watched FBI agents Mulder and Scully as they investigated paranormal cases involving aliens, government secrets, and unexplained wild things. It ran from 1993 to 2002 and became one of the most influential sci-fi series ever created. The show made phrases like, "The truth is out there," part of pop culture. In 2001, 9/11 happened, and naturally, audience interest shifted. But people were still watching until the cast changed. And by cast, I mean David Duchovny, who played Agent Spooky. Why would anyone want to watch the iconic duo suddenly become a solo? When Season 9 was released in 2002, the show was barely known and just had to go. For number 5, I think we should all protest that Fox brings it back. It's Living Single. 5. Living Single. Living Single followed 6 young black professionals and friends living in a Brooklyn brownstone. We watched them navigate their careers, relationships, and everyday life. Sounds a bit like some other sitcom, right? Well, this was the OG. It ran from 1993 to 1998, had 5 seasons, and became a classic because of its humor and chemistry between the characters. Max and Kyle are one for the history books.
What the hell? And hell is exactly what I am getting.
All good things must come to an end, so Living Single did too. By Season 5, Kim Fields, who played Regine, quit the show, and T.C. Carson, who played Kyle, got fired. Ratings were dropping, and so was Fox's sponsorship. There's also a controversial rumor that black content was being cut all over Hollywood in 1998. Anyway, January 1st, 1998, Living Single was over. At least we had friends. Speaking of friends, does anyone remember Sean and Corey? 4. Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World followed Corey Matthews as he grew from middle school student to college graduate, dealing with friendships, relationships, and life lessons along the way.
I am going to grow up to be one.
Every Friday night from 1993 to 2000, we'd turn on ABC for its relatable storytelling and memorable characters. From Corey and Topanga to Sean and Angela, even Mr. Feeney, just beautiful. But time messes things up sometimes. The cast was growing, and the story just had to end. So after 7 seasons and 158 episodes, ABC chose to conclude the series. Number 3, Full House. 3. Full House. Before binge-watching became a thing, Full House was already the definition of comfort TV in 1987. The show followed widowed father Danny Tanner raising his 3 daughters with help from his best friend Joey and brother-in-law Jesse. You just had to be there. By the mid-90s, Full House had become a staple of family television and one of ABC's most recognizable sitcoms.
I said hey!
Surprisingly, the show wasn't exactly canceled in the dramatic sense. ABC chose not to renew it for a 9th season in 1995 due to rising production costs and declining ratings toward the end of its run. Warner Brothers even attempted to move the show to another network, but negotiations fell through. But Netflix is currently airing Fuller House with the now adult Tanner kids. I guess that's something. We're getting warmer. In number 2, Family Matters. 2. Family Matters. Family Matters started as a simple family sitcom centered on the Winslow family navigating everyday life in Chicago. Then Steve Urkel showed up. Originally intended as a one-time guest character, Jaleel White became so popular that he quickly became the face of the show. His catchphrase, "Did I do that?" became one of the most recognizable lines in 90s television.
Did I do that?
As Urkel's popularity grew, the show shifted focus, blending traditional family storytelling with more exaggerated comedic plots involving science experiments, inventions, and even his alternate Stefan Urquell. The ladies definitely remember that guy. The show ran for 9 seasons between 1989 and 1997, making it one of the longest-running black sitcoms of that decade. However, by the late 90s, ratings had begun to decline, and the show had also changed networks from ABC to CBS, which disrupted its usual audience flow. Behind the scenes, cast members were also ready to move on after nearly a decade of filming. And in first place, the show that helped define 90s television. 1. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air introduced audiences to a teenager whose life changes overnight when he moves from West Philadelphia to live with wealthy relatives in California. Across 6 seasons, the show delivered humor, memorable storylines, and emotional moments that still resonate today. One of the most powerful episodes explored Will's relationship with his father. Shout out to Will Smith.
I love you, Uncle Phil, and I just don't want to lose you, any of you.
The series ran from 1990 to 1996 and became a cultural phenomenon. While still starring on the show, Will Smith appeared in blockbuster hits like Independence Day and Men in Black, and quickly became one of the biggest box office stars in Hollywood. Continuing a demanding sitcom schedule became increasingly difficult as his film career expanded globally. So, of course, they had to wrap it up. But I know you've seen that video of Will and Ashley dancing in her room. The show was canceled, but the vibe never died. And that's 10. It's a bit sad that many of the shows we grew up watching didn't just run forever. But it's even better that they haven't disappeared. Now I want to know, which 90s show do you wish had continued longer? Which one do you still cozy up to when you miss the good old days? If this video brought back memories, don't forget to like and subscribe for more nostalgic throwbacks. See you in the next one.